This is American Ground Radio. Stephen Parr with Louis R. Avalone.
I don't think this is about chauvinism. I don't think this is about having a woman tell you what to do is undesirable. You and I have been married for a very long time.
Not to each other. Be very clear about how you're saying these things.
Come on, don't be cute. Here's what I'm trying to say here, is that you and I have been married to our wives for a very long time. So we are well experienced.
Not long enough, baby.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I finish?
Please do.
The fact is, we have a lot of experience in having women tell us what to do.
Absolutely.
All the time.
And before I was married, I had a mother, still have a mother, and my mother would tell me what to do when I was growing up, too.
But I think
I
think what we're talking about here is about respect. R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Right.
Find out. Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah,
find out
what it means to me. That's how that means, yeah.
So when Jill Biden is across the pond, as they often say, they're in Europe, right? The Bidens.
Right.
On an official state tour. When she was addressing the troops that were stationed at Royal Air Force Mildenhall, before Joe Biden took the podium, at one point, apparently, Joe got distracted by the troops in the crowd. And Jill Biden, who was standing at the podium, addressing the crowd, turned around and said this.
She first was talking to the troops, she said.
I don't want you to stand through.
Because they were standing for her. And then she turns around.
Out of respect.
Right, yeah, of course.
Joe, pay attention.
Joe, pay attention.
Now, a lot of folks would say, what's the big deal?
Yeah, what's the big deal?
That's his wife.
Right.
I mean, come on. How many times has your wife said, pay attention, put down your phone?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Are you listening to me? Stephen,
Yeah,
listen to me.
What?
How many times has
There's
Wendy
something-
said that?
I'm sorry,
Lots
there's
of
something on
times,
the TV.
right?
I was watching.
Okay, so my point is, that is banter between a husband and a wife.
Sure, it just shows it's the human side of them. What are
Nothing
you all
wrong
upset
with
about?
that.
What are you? She's a doctor. She can tell them what to do.
This is the president of the United States.
Right.
This is the commander-in-chief. This is the leader of the free world. I'm telling you, there is a modicum of respect that the office deserves, that you should not treat with such casualness.
Okay, but in order for the president's wife, the first lady, to treat the office of the presidency with respect, the president himself would have to treat the office of the presidency with respect. Ronald Reagan treated the presidency with so much respect that he would never go into the Oval Office without wearing his suit coat.
And President Obama, of course, did the exact opposite.
And look, Bill Clinton, we know how well he disrespected the Oval Office. There's been...
no, tell me more. Tell me what happened there. What are we talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about
okay,
things
never
that
mind. I'm
ended
let you
up
off the
in
hook there. Here's
court.
Your point is...
Yes. If Joe Biden respected the office of presidency enough to know that someone who is in mental decline should not be the president, then maybe the first lady would treat the office with more respect too. But he's going to set the standard. If he doesn't treat the office of presidency with enough respect to say someone who's in mental decline should not even run for president, then why would we expect his wife to treat it with any more respect than that?
And I know a lot of folks say, you know what, you're just such an old fuddy-duddy. I mean, these are folks that are real people.
I'm sorry.
These are real people. These are not your average whatever that think they're holier than thou, which, by the way, they are, but that's another discussion altogether. You deserve, this country deserves a president that will treat the office with the reverence. And because you're setting an example.
Absolutely.
You're setting a tone all across the world. And if that was not enough, today, Jill Biden tweeted out a photo of her on Air Force One.
Okay. They do that all the time.
Prepping for the G7 conference. You should see this picture. You've seen pictures of presidents on Air Force One.
Right.
There's a desk. There's a resolute desk.
Right.
On Air Force One.
Right.
and there's the president, and generally he has his Air Force One jacket that is draped around the back of that chair.
Sure, right, yeah.
And it's a very it's a beautiful picture in my opinion.
It's the president's desk while he's on Air Force One.
Guess who's sitting at it?
You tell me Jill Biden was sitting at the president's desk on Air Force One?
With binders and papers, and she's got her glasses on and a pen in hand, and it looks like she's working. And it's not just my supposition. The tagline for the photo is prepping for the G7.
What's the first lady doing at the G7?
Where was Joe? Is he napping? I think they just want to continue rubbing our face in it. They know as well as we do that Biden didn't win, that he got far fewer votes than Trump. They know as well as we do that Biden is not in charge of anything. And yet, I think they're laughing at us. They're like, fine. Now what are you going to do about it? You've got Kamala Harris in charge of everything in this country, basically.
Theoretically, she's not actually in charge of any of it because she's not doing anything.
She's not competent.
Right.
Almost half of Americans feel that she's not competent to be president of the United States, but yet he has given her.
Right.
He has, by fiat power, apparently.
He's declared that she's got the power over the border, and yet she won't go to the border. So who's in charge? Because obviously she's not. She's been put in charge, but she's not actually the person in charge.
I just think, and again, this doesn't come as any surprise. Biden is just clueless about what's going on in Europe. The theme of his speech is going to be America is back.
Where did America go?
Exactly. And instead of focusing on how, basically Europeans need to see America as the most desirable ally on the world, which don't they already? Don't people flee to this country? Don't people seek our shores already in record numbers?
Europe looks to the U.S. for leadership already. Whether Joe Biden's declaring we're back or not, they've already been looking to us for leadership for things. They know a lot of stuff can't get done on this planet if the U.S. isn't on board.
But see, what's going on in Europe is China's rise and Islamist. There's an Islamist threat in Europe.
Yeah.
But Biden isn't going to focus on any of that.
No.
He's just going to offer these vague platitudes about climate change and a global corporate tax. You remember he floated that out there?
Yeah.
Most Europeans, though, in fact, a third of Europeans believe that the American political system is broken. And why is that? Why is that? Who might have given them an idea, the thought that our political system is broken? The Democrats.
Right. That's what they've been declaring for years.
I'm just grateful that Joe Biden is not on a bowing tour. Because you remember when President Obama...
Yeah, he was on a bowing tour.
He toured the world, and he bowed.
I'm just afraid that if Joe Biden did that, he'd get dizzy. Let's get to the top 3 things you need to know before tomorrow. Well, the number of people coming across our southern border illegally is the highest it's been since 2006. That's according to data provided by the Customs and Border Patrol. Nearly 1 million people have been apprehended by CBP since October 1st last year. Tens of thousands more are estimated to have evaded capture. Last month, 170,000 people crossed, the most in a single month since 2001. Kamala Harris, who was put in charge of solving the problems at the border, still refuses to go and thinks the questions about why she won't go and see what's actually happening there are silly.
Well, you know what? How she defended the fact that she is not going to the border.
She hadn't gone to Europe either.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. But no, here's what she said. She said going to the border would be a grand gesture on her part.
Yes.
A grand gesture.
It would in part. And
really?
you also might learn something. It would show that you actually care. You give a damn about what's going on the border. That would be a gesture. But it also might be a learning opportunity, and that's what's more important.
Ask any real leader if they believe going to the site of where a problem is a grand gesture or not.
Second thing you need to know before tomorrow, the company that was building the XL pipeline is throwing in the towel. TC Energy announced today that it wasn't worth trying to go ahead with the project after President Joe Biden unilaterally canceled it when he was inaugurated back in January. Attorneys general from 21 states have sued the federal government government over the cancellation because it cost thousands in American jobs and millions in potential revenue.
And if you look at it, it's far more costly.
Right.
It's far more environmentally damaging to transport that oil
Right.
by truck or by rail.
The pipeline itself is carbon neutral. That's a fact. Third thing you need to know before tomorrow, the mayors of Mississippi, two of Mississippi's two largest cities won re-election yesterday. In Jackson, Democrat Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba won his re-election despite the fact that his city was out without drinkable water for more than a month earlier this year due to an ice storm and failures by the city to improve the water system. In Gulfport, Republican Billy Hughes was re-elected to a third term, and Republican Todd Jordan was elected to his first term as mayor of Tupelo, Mississippi.
You know, we've got to look at the results. I mean, if you keep voting for poor results.
Jackson has lost 19,000 residents over the last decade. Gulfport gained 4,000. One of them's had a Democrat mayor. The other one's had a Republican mayor.
You just can't fix stupid.